On business model canvas, I will take you through some very fundamentals today. All right. So let me share my screen. Okay. Now, of course, there are some basic hygiene factors. I'll quickly go through that. I want you all to be seated in a comfortable place and position. It's very important. 2.5 hours is not easy. In fact, when you are in college, it's easier to sit in class than you can sit at home in front of a computer. It's a lot different. And I'm sure by now all of you have gone through a number of sessions to know what is your comfortable position. Please be in a comfortable position and keep your phone away until not 6:30, I'm sorry, until about 1:15, right? The reason I'm saying the phone should be away is even if you took the phone for a brief 1 minute, you will lose your train of thought for at least 5 to 7 minutes for you to get back into the flow. So may I suggest that you don't use the phone at all for anything whatsoever, because you have come for this session and you have dedicated your time for this 2.5 hours. Do have a notebook and pen ready. Any questions you have, just jot it down. If you have to ask right away, I'm happy to answer. If you want to ask at the end of the session or a logical break, we can do that also. So there are no hard and fast rules, but it's important that as we talk, as you listen to the words that I speak, words will come, thoughts will come into your mind. It's important to capture those thoughts. They're very important. Just jot them, some key words, and you'll be able to ask all the right questions. Of course, you are probably staying with your parents at this point. If you had gone back home, tell your parents, your mom, to excuse you from any of the chores that you might have to do. I know several of us during the lockdown, we have undertaken to help our parents, our mothers, with drying out the clothes, with washing the dishes, cutting the vegetables. Today, you could just take a leave for all of that just until the 1:15 to 1:30, and you can get back to your chores later. Most important, relax. This is an extra session that you are attending. Therefore, it is something that you can relax. There are no markings for this. There are no grading for this. So you should be in a relaxed position. Relax, wear a smile, and enjoy. Okay, today the structure will be like I mentioned to you. We will have some fun exercises using polls. Those of you who might not have used Zoom polls, do not worry. It's very easy, and I will walk you through that. You will be able to just answer yes, no, choose one of the options, and so on. And it's a fun way of understanding where you stand with respect to the rest of the participants today online. And we will talk about business and entrepreneurship. Everyone thinks that business is different from entrepreneurship. That might actually be true. And some people think that business and enterprise entrepreneurship are the same, but actually they're not the same. So there's a clear distinction, and we will demonstrate that very clearly. So by the time we are done within the next half an hour, you would know to distinguish between businesses and entrepreneurship. And of course, we will do an introduction to BMC, Business Model Canvas. With the time given, only an introduction is possible, but that introduction is good enough for you to start off. And for those of you who are more interested, you will be able to connect with someone like me, and someone like me can help you even further. Typically, a business model canvas can be a whole day session to about 3-day session. So depending on if you're already an entrepreneur, we typically take 3 days to go through an entire session. And if you are wanting to understand the basics and work on exercises, it will still take about one day. Today, we are going through some very simple basics only, but enough for you to say and extrapolate what is it that you want to take out of every one of the sections of today's session. So that will be the structure. And so I'm going to ask a poll. The first poll is, do you want to become an entrepreneur? But let me start by, so the answers are yes, no, maybe. I'm going to launch a poll. You will see on your screen a pop-up. And the question that I just asked in the slide, you will see it right there. And there are yes, no, and maybe. Just click. There you go. Thank you so much. A number of people are already yes. I'll give you a few more seconds. Good. We have quite a few. I would like all of you to participate in this one. It will allow all of us to understand where we stand. So go ahead. We've got about 62% that's done. We still have a few more people. If you are faculty, please participate in this poll. It is, you might think it's not relevant, but it is relevant. So please go ahead and answer any one of those three options. And you know that you come here for this. There are 26 of us. I still, 24 of us. I still see only a few of you have answered. Can you go ahead and answer? I'll give you another 15 seconds. We're up to 60% polled. And if you are having any problem polling, please let me know and I will be able to help you. You just have to click any one of those three buttons. Yes, no, maybe. There are no other choices, unfortunately, and we don't need any other choices anyway. Okay, we are up to about 70%. Another few more people can answer. I will give another 5 seconds and we will conclude this poll about now. Okay. So now we have seen that about 75% of you have answered. Sorry, someone has typed in. Arin Joy, you cannot see the polling option.
Yes, sir.
Was there a pop-up that came up?
No, sir. No pop-up came.
Okay.
I didn't see any pop-up coming. That's why I pulled my answer in the chat box.
Okay, I see. Yes, thank you. Thank you for answering the chat box. But let's see the next poll on. You will be able to. Will hope that you will see it. All right.
Okay, sure.
I will take anyone writing on the chat box as well. But let's try to answer it on the poll. Thank you, Arinjoy. So here is the results of our poll. We can see that about 70% have expressed that they want to be an entrepreneur. And several of you want to test it out. And that is pretty fair because we don't know where the money is going to come from. We don't know where the ideas are going to come from. We don't know whether we are made to be an entrepreneur. So a number of things will happen at this point. And excuse me. And for you to be able to figure out if you really want to be an entrepreneur, it's not an easy task. So that's a good one. And I'm going to launch another poll. Before that, I want to go ahead and give you a definition of who's an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is self-motivated. You do not have to be told by your parents that you want to be an entrepreneur. Parents, younger times when you were in 10th standard or even 9th standard, your parents might have told you, I want you to become an engineer. I want you to become a doctor. And at that point, we would have picked up our parents' wishes because we had no wish of our own. So we just pick up what our parents have guided us and we go to do that particular stream. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, there's no one to dictate to you or even suggest to you whether you want to become an entrepreneur. So you are self-motivated. And that self-motivation happens primarily because you're seeing a problem and you're able to see a solution to that problem. So an entrepreneur is a self-motivated problem solver. He or she takes above normal financial risk. It's not like, okay, I could have gone to a job and then I go ahead and do some entrepreneurial pursuit. That person typically says, well, I understand that if I don't go to a job after my graduation, I'm going to lose money on not making an earning, number one. I'm going to have to spend some money of my own to pursue a solution. So if there is a solution, I have to build a prototype. If there is a solution, I need to test it out in the market and so on. So these are not normal financial risks. These are above normal financial risk where you are putting in actual monetary resources into something that you do not know if it's going to pay back. And it's a one-time payment. It's not like, okay, I worked on this prototype, someone please buy it from me for about 40,000 rupees. You just cannot. So if you built a prototype and it cost you 40,000 rupees, you have sunk that money. So there is a financial risk to being an entrepreneur. It's not just straightforward. And typically, a new business venture by an entrepreneur is something with a new idea. It's not an old idea. For example, if you want to start a restaurant, that's an old idea. Nothing fancy about it. There is a kitchen, there are some people to serve, and you have a menu, and you just open a restaurant. Nothing new about it. But if you want to create something innovative about it, you could potentially say, oh, our servers will be people who are physically challenged. So we want to give an option to physically challenged people. So I do it with a social enterprise in mind. So that could be one. Or it could be technical. You could say all of our servers are going to be only robots and they will bring you the food. So you can create some innovation. And when you create such an innovation, that's when you are an entrepreneur. So it's a new idea within an old idea or a brand new idea completely, right? So when Elon Musk said, I'm going to send rockets into space, up until then only NASA was doing it. And when Elon Musk says that, people are like, no, a common citizen cannot do it. It has to be a government-funded NASA kind of a thing. And then he says, no, it's a new idea. I know you don't understand it, but I'm going to do it, right? So it's a brand new idea. So typically an entrepreneur is someone who dares to do something new that has not been done before. They might have a partner, one, two, three, many, or no partners at all. They might start off on their own. And then along the way, they might pick up partners. Or sometimes they might never have a partner ever in their lives. They might be a single person completely. They dream big. They reach for the stars. They don't just say, well, I'm just going to have a small shop. They think about the small shop now will become something larger. More and more people will benefit. More and more people will buy. And the company will make this kind of money. And we will be the number one company in all of Tamil Nadu, in all of Kerala, in all of Telangana, and then all of India, and so on, right? So they dream big, entrepreneurs. They are determined. They're very determined. Very rarely would you see an entrepreneur say, no, I'm done. I'm going back to a job situation. That also is possible. I personally have, at one point of my time, I have been in a situation where I was so down, I lost a lot of my money. To regain my resources, I went back into a job situation. This was when I was in the United States. I went into a job situation, picked up a job, but with my determination intact. I said, I'm going to spend 7 years in this industry, which was financial industry, learn a lot about that, earn enough money to stabilize myself, and then I'll get back into business, which is exactly what I did. 7 years in one industry, did not think about any business. I ensured I saved each and every penny I had, made sure that I paid off each and every debt and loan I had, and then even after I cleared the loan, I took about 4 years to ensure that I built up enough resources because I know the business I get into will have financial risk. So I was a determined person. So entrepreneurs are determined people, and they would continue to pursue some idea or the other. Most important of all, they see a problem and they solve it. Right? That's what I mentioned earlier. Um, there are no entrepreneurs if there are no problems. If everyone is fine, we can just have a government, a number of jobs, and everyone does everything properly. But of course, if you want to buy a ticket online to get into a train, you need an app to be able to get to buy the ticket instead of going and buying it at the counter. That's ease of use and so on. So the problem was how to make someone's life easier by not going and standing in line for 1 hour, rather going online and buying it online. So they see a problem everywhere. Anything and everything is a problem. And if that problem can be solved, and if that problem solved can be monetized, then it becomes an entrepreneurial pursuit. They also do this. Very rarely would you see someone who's too introverted, and there are introverts. I personally, again, I will talk about my situation. I'm an introvert. It's very hard for me to talk in front of a number of people. But I have slowly over the years ensured that I can talk to people. I can talk to more than one person at a time. So I overcame my shyness, but still I am at heart that shy person. Every time I have to get into a session, I still have my butterflies. I know my subject well, but I still have my butterflies. And so what I do, I network. I talk to people. You saw today also when we started off, I was buying some time to get the polls ready, and all I had to do was, can I talk to you people? And this networking, this ability to talk, this ability to connect, does not depend on you being a jovial person or a humorous person or whatever it is, right? You can be a very serious person and still network meaningfully. Network is the art of giving something and receiving something from someone else, and the two of you connect and say, oh, you know what, I like your approach, I like to learn more from you. And then when we do that, we network, and we are able to say at some point, I'd like to ask you a favor, is it possible for you to do this for me, or is there something I can help you with, and so on and so forth. So networking is a very important attribute of an entrepreneur, and that you will see is a crucial difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur. All right. Now, who's a businessman? Now, businessmen have a smaller scope. I mean, they might head very large organizations, but they are a smaller scope. For them, it is all about not dreaming big, but thinking about very specific targets for the day, for the week, for the month. They are focused on the day to day. Today, if I come in, is it going to rain? If it's going to rain, have I done enough to ensure that my clients can come into my shop? Are there umbrellas out there? So those are the small innovations, but I'm focused on the day to day. I'm not focused about the bigger picture. I'm not thinking about, oh, in 5 years, my company will make money. No, I need to make money today. I need to make money by the end of the week. I need to ensure that month on month, my business is not running red, meaning I have to be profitable, right? So they are focused on the day to day. They're very analytical, very, very analytical, much more analytical than entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs think big, They are strategic thinkers at heart. But when it comes to businessmen, they go down to the nitty gritty. They will say, okay, today our store is going to receive 20 bags of rice. Do we have enough space in our storage space to keep 20 bags of rice? And these are the things that they're very analytical about. In fact, entrepreneur at some point will have to acquire these analytical thinking, but basically an analytical thought process is the preserve of a businessman. He's very, very thorough in his details. He makes sure that the company makes profit. And because he is very particular on the company making a profit, he's less innovative. He's less innovative because innovation sometimes steers away from the focus and sometimes takes more resources than necessary to run a job, to run a business. So he ensures that profitability is the only criteria. He will not go and say, we are doing great, we are doing something different. So Saravana Baba, he does not have to do anything other than saying, come in, you can have a very good hygienic food, and you can buy some sweets on your way out to take it to your family. As simple as that. No more innovation. Simple. They take minimum risk. They will not bet on a technology that's not proven yet. Whereas an entrepreneur will say, okay, you know what? There are these IoT devices that are coming up, and I want to do something with that in my biotechnology field. I want to do some home healthcare, for example. So an entrepreneur will do that. A businessman will say, nope, I'm just minimum risk. So, any questions on these two that I spoke about, businessman versus entrepreneur? Okay, I will accept questions anytime during the session. Also, don't worry, there will be times when you might want to clarify. But let's go with one more poll to test your understanding of what a business and an entrepreneur are. You see this picture? This picture has a person in a wheel, a cart wheel, and he's selling sundal, right? Sundal or some little thing. This picture was actually shot in on the bridge across the Kaveri in Trichy. And you can see some people standing there, some youngsters standing there, probably enjoying a sundal or whatever it is. So now the question to you is he a businessman or an entrepreneur? So I'm going to launch the poll. Arinjoy, can you see the poll now?
No, sir. Where exactly it should be visible?
It should be on the pop-up. Can someone help? I mean, I'm not able to tell him exactly where it is coming. Mokshananda, can you?
It is coming on display, sir, easily for me. It is coming on display.
Coming on display, right?
Right, sir.
I don't see anything, sir. I don't see anything, sir.
Log in through the Zoom link, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And you're not seeing a pop-up with the green header?
Okay, yes, there's a green header. You are viewing Manick Rajendran's screen.
Is he an entrepreneur or a businessman?
Is he? It's just a screen, sir. Means, is he an entrepreneur or a businessman? But I cannot see any polling option.
There should be two buttons there, businessman and entrepreneur.
No, sir, it's not there.
Remya, can you help him?
Are you using mobile phone or laptop?
Laptop.
Okay. For mobile, it is coming in the screen itself. Once you submit, it is gone.
Okay, I'm using my laptop, but I cannot see the pop-up here. Maybe it's it's coming in the mobile.
Is he an entrepreneur or a businessman? Do you see that or no?
I'm just seeing the screen, sir, where it is written poll number 2, is he an entrepreneur or a businessman, and the picture. I'm not seeing any options to click, sir.
All right. I'm sorry, I'm not able to solve your problem. You can answer on the chat. Enjoy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Um, Actually, Aravind has posted, he says in laptop there is an option as polls next to chat option. There's a polls next to the chat option. Can you click on that?
1
On the
second,
bottom?
sir, I'm searching.
Nicely also said can see it on the laptop.
Yes.
Okay, don't worry about it. We will not spend too much time on it. You can answer on the chat.
Never mind, sir. I'll answer it here, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Almost 77% has polled already, and I'm going to end the poll. And the answer, according to our group today, is 71% of you feel that he's a businessman, and 29% of you feel he's an entrepreneur. Okay, that's a good understanding. Now let's go with one more poll. You see these two guys. One is a chai wala, another guy is a guy who's probably selling biscuits and water and everything. They have a small innovation. They put up a steel box. They probably made it somewhere, brought it here, put it up on the side of the road, and they're probably friends or brothers. And one, you can go stand in line to buy your chai or tea, and then you come and buy your biscuits. So it seems like a very nice little innovation. Now, the question again is, are they entrepreneurs or businessmen? And I'm going to launch another poll for you to answer this one also. Are you able to see this poll, everybody? Yes, I can see you answering. So go ahead. Are they entrepreneurs or businessmen? We are going head to head. We are 50-50 on this right now. Enjoy has said entrepreneur too. Yes. Very good. Go ahead. And we have a few more people who can answer. It's fun. You can answer very simple. You don't have to pay for this poll. You're participating in a group exercise. I would not know who answered what, nor does it matter. So I'll spend another 10 seconds for us to finish the poll. And I will end the poll about now. And I will share the results. Here we were a little bit more evenly placed. We feel that 55% of us feel that they are entrepreneurs and 45% feel that they are businessmen. Okay, let's take another example. You see this, this you would have seen it in small towns and villages. He's got a lot of colorful things, right? Maybe they are shampoo sachets, maybe they are some eatable snacks, maybe they are soaps, maybe they are anything. There could be, and he's got a colorful array of them, right? So if he's got a colorful array of them, let us see what your answer would be to this next poll, which is this shop run by an entrepreneur or a businessman? Go ahead and answer this. I can see your answer too, or enjoy. Thank you. Go ahead. Who is running this? Is he a businessman or an entrepreneur? And he seems to be running a whole bunch of things. He's got all kinds of things. Probably he's even selling kerosene oil. Who knows? He's got some funnel there. So he's got some savories. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. So let us wait for a few more people to answer this one. Don't give too much of a thought. Just give your fresh understanding of what you think this particular situation calls for. A few more people. 2 more people can answer. I'll give you another 10 seconds. And we will end the poll about now. And I will share the results. This time around, 63% of the people feel that he's a businessman. He's less of an entrepreneur. He's more of a businessman. Okay, that's a good thinking. Let's go ahead and try one more example. You see this guy. He's a Patram Kadai in Tamil Nadu, we'll say, right? He's a Patram Kadai. He is selling all kinds of vessels. He's got large vessels, he's got small vessels, and he's got a queue of people standing there. So people are buying for a daily use. People are buying probably even for in preparation for a wedding, or maybe in preparation for buying some utensils for their business or a new enterprise. But this person obviously is selling all kinds of vessels. So again, the question would be, is he an entrepreneur or a businessman? And I'm going to poll, send the other poll. Go ahead and answer this one. Is he an entrepreneur or a businessman? I trick you guys by moving my business or an entrepreneur up or down. So you could go ahead and choose whichever one you feel is correct. There are no wrong answers at this point because we are all trying to understand. The next time you see something like this, you will be able to figure out whether it's a business or an entrepreneurship. So I'll give you another 15 seconds. We are up to about 65%. A few more people, 3 more can answer. Typically, at least 70 to 74% of you are answering. Please don't feel shy. It's just a fun poll. You don't get great marks, you don't get marks, nothing. It's just a fun poll. All right. So we're almost there, and another 5 seconds, and I will end the poll about now. And let's see the results of this poll. Results of this poll are even more telling. 70% of us feel that who was running this is a businessman, and 30% of us feel that he is an entrepreneur. Okay, all right. So let me take another example. You see this picture here. This picture shows Amrita store. Sorry, it's all in Tamil, but you can see that it's a larger store. It's got even a couple of floors, and there are bikes that are outside. There are customers in there. We don't know what kind of a thing, but let's try and see whether this person, whoever is running, and I'm going to assume that it's a female who's running this, is she a entrepreneur or a businessman? Businesswoman. Okay, and she is selling, we don't know what it is, but it looks like a very respectable place. It's not just a small shop by the roadside. It's a large enterprise. They've invested some money. They have financial risk. So where are we? Are we thinking they are an entrepreneur, or are we thinking we are a business? She's a businesswoman. Okay, good. This time around, I find more people. 82% have already polled. So I'm going to end the poll. This is a good turnout. Thank you for polling. And I'm going to share the results. This was a little bit less than the previous one in the fact that some of us, 61% feel that they are a businesswoman, and 39% feel that she is an entrepreneur. Okay. Now, let me take one more example. One more poll, sorry. Now, are all these business ventures or entrepreneurship ventures? So let me go ahead and get the last poll in, and I want you to answer if they are all entrepreneurs, are all businesses, are all mixed. Now this time you can change your views about what it is, and you can go ahead and answer accordingly. So they could be mixed, they could be businesses only, or they could be entrepreneurship ventures only. Okay. A few more can answer. This is an interesting result I'm seeing. Very nice. 75% of us have polled. So I'm going to end the poll about now. And I'm going to share the results. 67% of us have decided that it's a mix of both. All right. And 29% have said they are businesses only. And 5% have said that it's an entrepreneurship. All of them are entrepreneurships. All right. So now let's go back to understanding the difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. So in every one of those that you saw, let's take this particular case alone. This particular person, he obviously is a businessman. He might be a small business, but he's a businessman because for him, if it is not sold within a day, all of that will go to a waste. So he's not dreaming, he is dreaming big, probably to say, I want to earn a lot of money to put my daughter to college. I want her to become an engineer. He might have thought of all of that. But as far as this business itself is concerned, he's not thinking anything big. He's thinking only about today. I have to earn about 2,000 rupees today. That is my target. So it's on a day-to-day basis, right? So typically everything that you just saw, all of those samples that you saw, they're all pure businesses. They might have some innovation here and there, but they are all just pure businesses only. So we are now going to see how if someone like him was doing this, how can he now think in terms of becoming an entrepreneur? Let's imagine he is about 55 years old and he's like, okay, I've been doing this for 20 years. I want to do something different. I want to do something big. I want to do something that's revolutionary. If he's that kind of a person, or if you are an entrepreneur and you happen to go meet him on the bridge and you spoke to him and you understood his business, you understood all of his problems, what would you want to do as a huge enterprise? Any suggestions? You can unmute yourself and answer. Anyone willing to be an entrepreneur right now? Devi, you have unmuted yourself. Would you want to answer? Would you want to give a suggestion as to what this person could do or anyone could do to transform this into an enterprise? Okay, I see some chat. Mauli, you can answer. You can unmute yourself. In the meantime, Arun has said he can attach to food delivery apps. Very good. Or you can, as you might want to extend that, he himself can create a food delivery app for himself, right? Publicize his stall on the internet. Okay, that is publicizing to get more reach. But is that enough to be a entrepreneur? What can you do to be an entrepreneur? Okay, you can create an app and you can potentially say, I can deliver it anywhere you want. Will he be able to deliver wherever he wants? He's been in this spot for the last 10 years. So what can he do? Or what can anyone do with this idea? People come here to buy sundal. If you lived in Chennai, you would know that there is that Mor Tata on Tirvanmur. You go at night at about midnight, you'll see a person with a cycle and he'll give you more with bundi. And that's a huge, hugely popular, but it's still a business. What can we do to make it a large enterprise? Anyone answer that? Okay.
Sir, if you take If you take today consideration, if we can make it like a organic food. I'm using all organic products in this food. Like that, he can.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. There's a new innovation. This is healthy for you. And you can say this has this many, this much protein, this much fat, this less fat, and this is very good for you. Come and buy it every day. You can say that. Beautiful.
Yes.
That's one way of expanding your base of customers and doing something different. And you can say, yes, I have an app. You could just order it, and I'll have someone come and deliver it. Yes, that is one way. And Kishore has said, I could do word of mouth, but word of mouth is not in your hand. It's not under your control. You cannot tell everyone, please, I'll give you 50 rupees. You go tell someone else to come here. You can probably give him a small pottalum of this sundal and say, sir, try it, you like it, and if you like it, please tell 50 more people. You can say that. But that again is not a bigger enterprise. So I'm going to give you a clue what a friend of mine did here in Chennai. You all would have seen this probably, this place called Food Street. Does anyone remember seeing this on OMR Road in Chennai? If you were here in Chennai, does anyone remember this? So what this is he took, yes, someone answering? Okay. So what he did was he went ahead and purchased land. Ramachandran, yes, you have heard about it. Thank you. So he went and purchased about an acre of land, and then he set up these small shops. And he said, you person who's selling the sundal, come here. You put up a shop here. You who's selling, lady who you're selling idli, please, madam, come here. You can keep your idli shop here. You, sir, who are selling dosa, come here. You, sir, channa patura, come here. You, sir, who are selling sweets, come here, and so on. So he put up these small stalls completely, about 80 or 100 of them. And what happened was people started coming in, not just for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but people started coming in throughout the day. Or any traveler on OMR Street, when he noticed this, he said, oh, let's stop there. In fact, people would go past, they would go ahead and make a U-turn, come back, park, and then buy something, eat, and then go. So here's the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur, he himself is not doing the sundal or idli or dosa. He has created this idea saying, I will bring all of these food people to one place. And by now, all of us know that even though they are all in competition with each other, they are not really competition because they're bringing in a lot more people. Today, someone wants to eat appam. Tomorrow, someone wants to eat idiyappam. Another day, someone wants to eat dosa. So people will change. People will not just go to only that idli kada because it's great. Everyone is good. Everything is good. So people go to a variety of these things. So this entrepreneur realized, why should I just stick myself to just one sundal person? Let me take a whole bunch of them and put them together. Now, mind you, if he had gone and talked to that sundal person personally, that sundal person said, no, sir, nothing will happen, sir. Why should I pay you rent? I'm here without any rent. I'm happy. Now, if this was available in Trichy, he would say, oh my God, I would make more money there even if I'm putting 20,000 rupees as my rent. In spite of the rent, I will make more money. So this entrepreneur made sure that he was making money for everyone who's interested in this particular business. And he went ahead and created an idea, just an idea. But then with that idea, he went and got the funding to create this entire thing. Are you able to appreciate the difference between that sundal person and this entrepreneur who created OMR Food Street? And thereby you see the difference between, yes, thank you, between the businessman and the entrepreneur. So now let's look at the next one. This one, we saw those two guys. Now, if you were an entrepreneur, what would you do? Okay, OMR Food Street, that someone has taken that idea and it's gone. Now, if you were an entrepreneur, what would you do? You want to get into this chai business. What would you do? Anyone has got answers?
Something like tyking.
I'm sorry?
Something like tyking.
Something like chai king. Did you say something like that?
Chai Kings is a network. I mean, they have a chain of shops selling tea and all this.
So do you know them?
Sorry?
Do you know them?
I don't know.
But you've seen their chai shop.
It's a small chai shop has been turned out innovatively by them. Like they also sell chai, but in a different way.
Very good. Very good. And Arijay, you can actually unmute yourself and answer also, but good. You would add variety.
So I would like to add variety to the number of tea options that I can provide to my customers. Like I can sell normal tea, ginger tea, cardamom tea, tulsi tea, green tea. There would be many options, so the customer can choose what he wants to have. If I'm just opening a normal tea shop, the customer will come and have the only one option to buy is the normal tea, right? So I'm providing options, and thereby I'm attracting different types of customers with different preferences.
Wonderful. Beautiful. And that's exactly what a friend of mine did. In fact, he also was originally called Chai King, but then he lost out to the real Chai King. And so he called his company Chai Kant. And just like you guys said, he took that same stall, made it into a nice, decent place with a menu behind him and a guy with a computer taking the orders. And like Arinjoy said, there's a multiple variety of chais, all kinds of chais, and he's added some more variety by putting up sandwiches. And you can see a small hole with a glass where he's put attractively some sandwiches. So anyone out there that came to buy a chai would say, "Oh, you know what? I'm a little bit hungry." The minute you see a sandwich, you'll feel hungry. By the way, that's marketing, right? You keep it attractively nice right there, and it might actually be a toy. It might be a fake sandwich. It's not a real sandwich, but it made to look like a real sandwich. You keep it there, and then they'll ask, "Oh, I want that sandwich." And right away, he'll just pull up a sandwich from the refrigerator, has a microwave oven, he warms it in front of you and gives it to you, right? So this is a simple entrepreneur who said, I'm not going to be just a small tea shop somewhere. I'm going to put this up in a nice place with a nice facade and people will come. And sure enough, you saw a Cafe Coffee Day do a lot of business, and then you saw a Chai King, you see Chai Khan. So this is what has happened. And that is the difference between an entrepreneur, you remember the previous guy, these two guys, the difference between these two guys, and this is, he made it a little bit more spiffy, and he made it more attractive with an innovation saying, I can give you just here, he's got only one chai, only one type of chai. Here I can do all kinds of chai, herbal tea and everything, right? So this is what he did. So now let's go ahead and see this person. You remember seeing this particular guy? This particular guy has got all kinds of things, so many things. He probably has got about 400 different items there, starting from small coconut oil, everything he's got. So if you were an entrepreneur, what would you do?
Maybe like a hypermarket or a supermarket.
Hypermarket, supermarket, that is one idea, yes. What else could we do?
Door delivery.
Door delivery, yes. Door delivery could be another thing, yes. What else? I'll give you another idea. And I actually saw this happen, the original thing happen. So have you heard of an online portal called Flipkart? Every one of us heard of it, right? And now he's got thousands of items within that web portal. So all of those small items have found their way here and more. Everything under the sun is right there. So I just have to go online and do it. Mind you, when this person probably created this shop, probably internet was not even there. But then someone leveraged in the technology and he said, why? I don't need a store. I just need to go and do this. Right? Now, who's a bigger cousin of Flipkart worldwide?
Amazon.
Walmart. Walmart.
Amazon.
Amazon. Very good. Very good. I remember this one coming up. I remember I was sitting in a bookstore in the US called Barnes and Noble, where you can go sit, read a book, and then if you want to buy it, go buy it. In fact, they'll even have a small cafe. You can sit there, buy a coffee, sit there, read. You can stack up 10, 12 books on your side. You can read every one of them. You won't spend much time. You'll just leaf through them and then say, okay, I want to buy these 2 books. Leave the rest of the 10 books right there. So someone will come and pack it inside. And 2 books, you will go ahead and buy it and go. So I remember Amazon advertising at that time, and they said you can buy it online. And I was like, why would anyone want to go online? Here I'm having a fun time sitting and enjoying, browsing, and then buying. Why would I buy it online and have it shipped out to me? And it might take 10, 15 days. And then slowly we saw the industry started shaping up around Amazon. So what was originally Amazon's model was, every excess book, he will just go buy a lot of them. He'll keep it in a storehouse, and then he will go ahead and give a 10% discount. So when you get a 10% discount, he was passing on the overheads that he was saving. Meaning, if I went to a bookstore, I needed a big bookstore where I was spending 1 lakh per month on rental. He was saving on that 1 lakh per month rental. And so he was taking that money and giving that as a 10% discount to people. Think about that entrepreneurship brain. He said, I don't need a store. I just need online. And they will pass on the savings to the clients. So he gave a 10% discount. And then when they gave the 10% discount, the inconvenience was I cannot get the book right away. When I go home, I cannot give it to my wife. I cannot give it to my son. I cannot give it to my father. So, but it was delivered 10 days later. But soon enough, the industry became so very well that couriers became more and more. They started delivering in 4 days. And then later on, next day business delivery kind of a thing. It has come down to same day delivery today because he has got storehouses all over the place and he's able to deliver within a single day, right? But that's how he grew the business. But originally, he must have thought about all of this, but originally he said, I'm just going to give a 10% discount and make people come to my site and buy books. He started out with only books. And then later on, now you can buy anything and everything. You can even buy your own mother online. That kind of a thing they have online, right? So you can see what a hugely different businessman he was. He was not a businessman, he was an entrepreneur. Someone mentioned Walmart, right? So Walmart, Sam Walton would just fly on a small plane, see wherever there's a spot where he can build a big warehouse kind of a thing right next to a highway. And you say, I want that land. He will buy that land. He will go ahead and build a big space away from the city so people can come in and buy their goods and go at a bulk rate. This guy, Jeff Bezos, took that to a different level and said, I will give bulk rate. In fact, I give you much better rate, better than bulk rate, and I'll even give it at your convenience. I still remember, and most of you might not remember this, but most of us, we just could not believe we could buy shirts online. How will I know what is the right size? How will I know if the color is right? So I never could believe that I could buy anything personal online. Today, we just very easily, we want to gift a birthday gift to a friend, we send him a birthday gift through online orders. Imagine. So there is that entrepreneur who went ahead and took the existing ideas, nothing new, but he leveraged technology and their entire world is bending towards his needs. Now, you have a number of these kind of online businesses. You have Swiggy, You have Zomato, you have Ola delivery, all kinds of things. Wherever you go, you see a Swiggy guy, right? So Amazon started literally the idea, and Swiggy went ahead and said, okay, I can deliver food. Imagine, even about 3-4 years ago, would you believe that you could buy a dosa from this particular restaurant, a idli from another restaurant, and ice cream from someone else, somewhere else, and all of it delivered to you at home? Now Swiggy can do it. I mean, it's unimaginable. I just still cannot believe that I can get all the favorite things I want from 4 different places, all into one order and bring it to me. Swiggy did that. Now that's the entrepreneurship, right? So the entrepreneur takes a small idea. Mind you, he's not making any of those things. He's not making dosa, he's not making the vada, he's not making anything at all. But he has contracts with those restaurants and says, I will pick it up from you and I'll deliver it to your clients. And I will do it within half an hour. Half an hour is acceptable. People were accepting, okay, I can take half an hour. Now people will say, I want it in 20 minutes, right? And the industry will evolve to a certain way where you can even make your own food. We'll give you the ingredients, we'll give you the basic thing. You can just do it right away. And there are do-it-yourself food delivery also now with the COVID. And that has happened. That's an innovation. During the COVID, people didn't want to be eating something that someone else might have touched. So they said, okay, we are completely touchless. We are sanitized. We have all the basic ingredients and we have the instructions for you to do it right. Just go take this and we'll deliver it to your doorstep, touchless. You don't even have to see the delivery boy. He'll come and deliver it at your doorstep. You take it into your kitchen and you will make it yourself. And there you have your own food. So that is the entrepreneur. So the entrepreneur actually was born during the lockdown. When people were saying, oh my God, what do I do at home? There were entrepreneurs who were actually saying, oh wow, there are problems all over the place. Let's do that. And I will show what I did too. I started doing remote monitoring of patients so that people can go ahead and be home and take care of themselves and not go to a hospital. So we saved lives, we saved money. And that was an opportunity. So COVID came in and immediately, literally from March, we were on to our new way of doing things. We swiveled around, pivoted around and did things, right? So that is the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur, right? There were hospitals that were still taking care of patients. Me, I was taking care of patients at home using the hospital as the advisors and the monitors. So that is the entrepreneurial angle that I did. Okay, so now this one, you remember this particular shop, row of vessels and all that? And you also remember this one, Amida stores? Now, one person in Chennai took both of these concepts together and he created this. Can anyone tell me what this is? What store is this?
Alma store, the legend.
Saravana, the legend. Beautiful. Mind you, I did not even show the full name Saravana. You already know. That's how well branded he is. And you added the legend. All of us saw this man dancing with actresses, and creating a video. A lot of us made fun of him. They said, oh, why is this guy, he's not a great actor, he cannot be on a screen and all that. But he created a brand out of his own image. And he's got multi-storied thing. So every one of the Saravana stores, the legend, are about 8 to 10 floors. And people come in, even just to go to the 10th floor to see all the city around them. And the minute you enter, there is a nice Mangala music. You almost want to buy something today and go home. It is so very nice. It feels, and every floor has got its own specialty. Some furniture will be in one, utensils will be another one, Diwali things will be another one, and so on and so forth. So he has created a huge enterprise out of just these two. You don't have to go to one small shop and then go to another small shop to buy various things for your wedding. You just come here. Anything for your wedding, you can come and you can buy it here. One-stop shop. Mind you, we had superstores. That also is a one-star shop. But this guy took that a multi-level different. He created a whole new world. He created something like the Twin Towers in the World Trade Center in New York. He created that kind of a building right here, not 100 stories, but about 10 stories. And anyone and everyone can come in. You would see people coming in as a family, go all the way up to the 10th floor and watch. No one will tell them, don't stand here, don't look and everything. You are free to do whatever you want. So he created a passage for people to just come in, enjoy the air conditioning, enjoy the view, and on their way out, they'll buy at least a 300 rupee worth something. So he started making money. Are you now able to see the difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman? Anyone has any questions? This is important for you to understand the basics of business model canvas. This is very important. That is why it took all this while to be able to do this. Okay. Again, if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask. So now let's get to what an entrepreneur is, right? An entrepreneur is a single person, and he typically has time. Now, time is the most precious commodity. All of you did your undergrad, and then you said, okay, what do I do for the next 2 years? You all decided you're going to use that time to pick up a postgraduate degree. And some of you said, I'm going to do research, right? So you're using time, a very precious commodity, to acquire something. An entrepreneur, likewise, needs time to be able to think and come up with a prototype and then execute it. So if you are in a position where you have to go to a job and earn for your home, well, you might say, I will make time, part-time, to be a part-time entrepreneur. You could do that too. But more often than not, an entrepreneur will say, I take the next 2 years. Appa, Amma, please bear with me. I have this great idea. Just give me 1 lakh rupees and I'm going to do this. And if it doesn't work out, I'll let you know, but this is what I'm going to do. So what are you going to do? How are you going to do? I'm going to take about 1 year to do this. So that is time. The entrepreneur typically is a very curious person. Always curious about, sir, what is happening with that Sundal person? Why is he coming here every day for 10 years? Why has he not done anything? Or I see that he has built a big house. How did he build a big house with just selling this? Is it possible for him to sell this? Or is he doing something else during the rest of the time? Is he doing another business during the daytime and coming into this one in the evening to get his clientele? So he's always curious about anything around him. Everything around him, you have to be curious. Which is why I encourage you all to answer my questions, because it's your curiosity that will come out when you ask questions and when you answer questions, right? So curiosity is a very important factor of an entrepreneur. Next is idea. Idea, you need an idea to come up with something. You could have read about it in a magazine. You could have read about a particular breaking news of a completely new idea in biotechnology, in electrical engineering. You could have read about so many things, and then you come up with an idea and say, oh, wow, I like this idea. Just like I said, when COVID hit, when everyone was home, for me was, oh my God, I'm home. I cannot get out, but I want to protect myself. How do I protect myself? Everyone is running to a hospital, but everyone runs to a hospital. The hospitals are going to be filled. That's a problem. Hospitals don't want their hospitals to be filled. In fact, most hospitals were closed. So what do I do? So I went ahead and got Bluetooth devices showing your oxygen saturation in your body. And that was one important parameter. By March, I knew that was a very important parameter. Went ahead and got Bluetooth devices and started selling them to families and companies to say, use this for your employees at home, and I will get all the data through the cloud and I will monitor them, right? So idea came, and yes, It became very hard, and people understood it, and they said, yes, sir, I want more of this. Right. So next is what we call, just a minute, expertise in that idea, in that area. So, right. So Saravana stores, the legend, could not have built that 10-story thing if he did not have the expertise in stocking the various items from various sources. Only if he had the ability and expertise to stock would he build the 10 floors. Otherwise, just building the 10 floors is not going to give him anything. Every inch has got to be utilized. So you need expertise. Then you need the support of people. And for those of you who are still not married, you are probably taking the support of your parents. For those of you who are married, you're probably taking the support of your spouse. Discipline and habits. Now, this discipline and habits is very important for an entrepreneur, not just entrepreneur, for anyone, but for an entrepreneur, it's even more. And in fact, there's a book called 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Please jot that down. If you want to be an entrepreneur, one of the first books that you have to read, even before Business Model Canvas, is The 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, C-O-V-E-Y. So you need to have discipline and habits. And of course, there's got to be need in the marketplace. You can see that there's a need in the marketplace, that without that, your idea will never be able to sell. If your idea is there and no one needs it, then it's a waste of creating anything with that idea. Next would be the timing in the market. You might think that, oh yes, it's a great product. In fact, the Bluetooth devices that I'm talking about had come in the market 2.5 years ago, but no one was buying them because it was not needed. COVID, it was the right timing. So we used that for the timing. And guts, you need to have that guts. You need to be able to say, it's not just a financial risk. I know people might even call, I'm a failure if I fail at it, but I'm going to be gutsy about it. So you need to have that guts. And then you need to have resources. And those resources are a number of things, not just expertise, not just support, but there are so many other resources that you need, and you will need people along with those resources. Once you have those resources, you typically will find that you would want co-founders along with you to think along the same way and to do more than one task, because you are capable of doing only so much. Then you need a co-founder. Once you have co-founders, you need a number of employees. You might start with 1 employee, 10 employees, 15 employees, employees who will just listen to what you want them to do and do exactly according to a job description. And then you will have industry partners. So if you are running a restaurant with a beautiful innovation, you need the suppliers. They are all your industry partners. You need your rice flour delivery guys. You need your vegetable delivery. All of these are your industry partners who contribute those raw materials to make this happen. And of course, investors, right? The investors who will invest and say, oh, you have a very good idea, Mr. Arinjoy. Let me go ahead and fund you. And when an investor sees Arinjoy has been funded, another investor says, oh, I see Remya has got a great idea too. I want to fund. So it's not just one investor going after one entrepreneur. It could be multiple investors going after multiple entrepreneurs, or it could be the same investor investing in multiple. So investor, according to you, is someone who's going to give you the money, right? And finally, and this one, along the way, it starts right now. If you are even thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, you start to look out for mentors who can lead you there. It could be a teacher, it could be an accountant, it could be someone who's already running a business, or someone who's an entrepreneur. So you will have any number of mentors, not throughout your life, one same mentor throughout your life. You might have one mentor for a specific period of time and then say, thank you, sir, you were the one that gave me all the ideas, and for that I'm going to give you this particular thing. And Now I need someone who knows accounting very well. And since I'm going into cross-border trade, and I need someone, would you know someone that you can recommend? And he might recommend someone. So mentors are not just one person in your life. There could be multiple people. And all of these put together, you can see all of these things that I put up there. Unfortunately, I did not put too much color. It will be too confusing. But the entrepreneurs, the green, and the five yellow things are some of the things that will make you run the entrepreneurship. And all the others are the supporting things. And you have to build up all of this. When all of this happens, that's when you potentially are lucky to be at the right time, at the right place to hit the real big thing. You might not even be lucky, but you might actually be just about right to make good living, right? So all of this need to come together. So people say you need a big chunk of luck to help you in your new entrepreneurship pursuit. Well, that luck, you can create them. You can create your own expertise. You can ensure that you have the support. You can ensure that you have a good idea. You can ensure that there is a need in the market. And then you can go ahead and say, I have the right discipline and the habits to ensure that I'm going to do this steadily, determinedly, and for the rest of my life. Any questions on this? Is it overwhelming?
Yes, sir.
It is overwhelming? Okay. Yes, it is a given that you need all of this. But the beauty of it is you can create every one of these opportunities for yourself. You have to start by being curious. And that's why the curiosity is there. Curiosity, how do I do this? Someone asked earlier, what are the practical implications of running a business? What are the practical problems? And you've already started becoming curious. And that curiosity is fundamentally asking questions. You might ask all the wrong questions, not a problem. But every question that you ask will probably give you an answer, which will probably lead to the right direction that you want to go to. Okay, so now that we've done the fundamentals of businesses and entrepreneurship, you now know how to identify an entrepreneur with respect to a business, right? Businesses you potentially could inherit from your parents. Entrepreneurship is purely yours. It's your journey. You will get help from your parents and so many people, but you will have to ask for them. You will have to seek them out. You will have to make your own opportunities. So an entrepreneur is someone who creates his own future with his own hands. He might be lucky that the timing was right, but fundamentally, he's got the mindset to say, I'm going to create this. There's also another thing called intrapreneur, intrapreneur. An entrepreneur is someone with an entrepreneurship mindset, but working within an organization. He probably does not have a lot of the resources to start out on his own. So he works for an organization for 15 years. And that 15 years, he does so great within the organization that he's voted the best employee of the month, best employee of the year, on. And he actually creates great wealth for the company, which means he's an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur at heart, working with the resources within an organization. And that also is a kind of an entrepreneur, but we call him intrapreneur. Now, an entrepreneur might one day decide he wants to go and start his own business too. That could also happen. So an entrepreneur is a mindset. It's who you are. Okay. All right. So now let's get to the actual BMC. So all of this together will make you a successful entrepreneur. Introduction to BMC. Are you all able to see something on the screen? Sorry for those of you who are on mobile phone, it might be too small, but I'm sure you can still see it. Can you all see something on the screen right now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
How many objects do you see?
9.
9 objects. Can you guys go ahead and tell me what they are? from your own understanding of what they seem to be like.
Okay.
One is a blockchain, the other one is
Someone else,
health service, the other one is industry.
someone says in industry, someone else give me another answer. You can unmute and answer, please.
On money bag, sir.
Hariram, website icon, okay. What else?
There's a transport service.
This is a transport service, okay. What is this man, Mr. Manick? He has put up some 9 icons and is asking us like
Facebook, sir.
Facebook, yes, Ramya.
Checklist.
Checklist, yes, there is a checklist icon there, okay.
There's a blockchain
First is
on
the
the top. On the top, the
blockchain.
first one.
What else? Anyone say anything new?
Google Pay or money.
Google Pay money, okay. So Google Pay has used that icon, is it? Okay. All right, very good. Okay, so the reason why I would like you to participate is actually there was a psychology class happening, and a professor like me was taking classes, and then he asked a question. Hey guys, I want you to answer a question. Who's better, your mother or me? And people are stunned. What is this man is asking my mother and him? Why should I compare? No. You just tell me who's better, your mother or me. One girl from the last seat, she held up her hand. She said, "Sir, you're definitely better than my mother." And said, "No, you don't have to put soap or anything. You just tell me the truth. You can be frank with me. I will not penalize you in your section. Just tell me." No, sir, you're definitely better than my mother because my mother can put only one child to sleep at a time. You can put an entire class to sleep at a time. I hope I've not put all of you into sleep. Have I put all of you into sleep? Yes.
No, sir.
No.
Only when you answer will I get an understanding that you're awake. All right. Good. So let's go. There are 9 icons, and we are going to talk about each of those icons. I'm going to highlight the first box. You see this first box? What icon is there? Can anyone say what icon is there?
Contacts.
Contacts, beautiful, nice, contacts, okay. Someone else. Contacts, okay. Looks like, okay, Manick has come up with a business canvas model, and there
Employees.
Employees, okay, that's another good one. Yes. What else?
Networking.
Networking, okay. Okay. What do you think is important to a business for an entrepreneurship? Other than those 10, 15 things that I put up there, practically what is it that you need?
Customers.
Beautiful, lovely. Who was that? Is that Ramya? Yeah. Thank you, Ramya. Yes, we call it customer segments. Customers is one type of customer. So now let me give you an example of a customer segment. All of us brush our teeth with brush and toothpaste. At one time, people were using just their fingers and a powder called tooth powder, and they were brushing. Some people probably were even using ground brick. You take a brick, grind it on the floor, take that thing, and they were using that to brush their teeth. But now all of us are using toothbrush and toothpaste. I can almost guarantee that of the 27, 28 of us on here, every one of us is unique in the exact paste that we select. Now, imagine you went to a superstore and then you went and stood in front of your favorite brand, which is, say, Colgate. When you stand in front of the Colgate section, will you blindly put your finger somewhere and pick up one of the paste, or will you look for a specific type of paste? Will you blindly pick up any paste, or will you look out for a specific type of
Specific
paste?
type of paste.
What kind of paste?
Actually, on the toothpaste we have colors. Green color belongs to belongs to not chemical. It belongs to organic, like that.
Very
There will be indication.
an organic paste, right? A herbal
Yes, sir.
paste, right?
Herbal
So
paste.
some say I want something with charcoal, something with neem, right? So
Mm.
now that is
Yes.
hygiene. As it is, paste is hygiene. Now we are taking a specialization in that. And that is, I'm a hygiene seeking person, that I want to get something that has got neem and salt. Correct? So we choose that. Now is everyone doing?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Is everyone doing that? No. There are different sizes also, right? If there are different sizes,
Yes, sir.
there are different sizes. Who is buying? You see a very big size, and that
Yeah.
size, who is buying it?
So family, big
Beautiful.
family.
Actually,
Lovely.
I used to prefer big ones only, sir. That cost also less comparatively small ones. We have to buy for big one, and also we'll get discounts, successive discounts
Excellent. Excellent.
from big ones.
You're buying it for the economy. Correct? You have
Yes,
all
sir.
this,
Exactly, yes, sir.
everything is the same. Instead of buying two medium size, you're buying one jumbo economy size. And like
Yes.
Ramya said, was it you, Ramya, that you said it's family?
Yes, sir. Family is big. Means
Go ahead, Ramya.
so when we have kids at home, small plates will be over within month. So
Very good.
it has to last 1 month at least, one packet.
Excellent. And who typically buys that, your mother or your father?
So I buy for my kids, sir. I have kids, my family. So I'm married with kids.
So the mother is the decision maker, and she is going to the store and she says, my family needs this big economy size one. All of you use the same paste. I'm buying this economy size paste because it is cheaper for me to buy and it will last for a long time. Right? So big size is something that one person buys. Now let's imagine all of you went on a industry tour and you're taking the train from Egmore station. And on the way, one of you suddenly forgot that you forgot to bring your paste from home. What size of the paste will you buy?
10 rupees paste, sir.
10 rupees paste, exactly. The smallest size that I needed only for 10 days. I needed to last only for 10 days. And so, is it the size that you're looking at, or is it the money that you're looking at?
Actually, I'm looking at the time, sir. How much time I need? How much?
So you're looking at the convenience of taking a smaller size.
Yes, sir.
Right? Even if it's 10 rupees or 20 rupees, it does not matter. As long as it is small size.
Exactly.
If at that time you went to a store and they said, sir, there's an offer, sir, 1 for 1. Buy these two big toothpastes. You'd say, no, I'll come and buy it. Right now, just give me a small size one. Right? So, as a traveler, you will go ahead and buy a small size. So, I just saw one segment of the person who said, I will buy some hygiene factor, which is neem and salt and all that. That is one kind of a market segment. Then we had another market segment that said, I will buy the biggest size that will fit my family for economy. And another segment that said, I will buy it for the convenience. Right? So we have three very clear, distinct markets. Right? We have a hygiene, we have economy, we have convenience. And Ramya said that she's got kids, so she wants to buy the biggest one. In a few years, when the kids learn to go to the store themselves, they will see in that same stack some nice colored, bubbly toothpaste and say, Mommy, I want that only. And mommy will fight with them. No, we'll buy that. No, mommy, I want only this one. This has got a lot of foam. And then mommy will decide, okay, I'll buy this for them. The 2 kids, I have 2 kids, let them use this paste. So there's a paste for kids. The kids are the influencers, but they are a segment, a kids segment. So have we identified 4 segments right in front of us right now? Mind you, about 30 years ago, there was only one type of toothpaste anywhere. Colgate was just one type. It was not even a big size. Then they came up and saying, we'll give you some extra 10% if you buy this size. So typically, we have 4 segments that we just identified. One segment is buying economy. One size is buying convenience. One segment is buying hygiene. And one segment is buying fun for the kids. So these are 4 exclusively unique customer segments. They will hardly buy the other customer's product. They will buy only that product. If the neem and the salt is not available, he will go to another store and buy it. He won't say, okay, let me just buy this big one. Ramya will, no matter what, she will buy that large size one because she knows it has to last for a month. I don't want to keep coming every once in 2 weeks to buy new paste. And Arinjoy will buy that small paste because he's going to a tour, convenience. So they're all not buying toothpaste, they're buying something specific. What is the first one buying? The one who's buying a large size, what is he buying? She's buying
Economy.
Economy, correct. What is the person who's buying neem buying?
Hygiene.
Hygiene. What about the traveler?
Convenience.
Convenience. And what about the child?
Fun, entertainment. Fun.
There you go, fun, beautiful. So are you able to now very clearly distinguish between 4 segments? Yes. I'll give you another high profile example, which all of us can understand, but I want you to expand your think big. Imagine you are a car manufacturer, and imagine there is a 60-year-old very successful doctor who wants to buy an imported car. Typically, if you think about a doctor and wanting to buy an imported car, what car do you think comes into your mind? Imported. I'm not talking about local. Imported car.
It should be safety, sir. Safety comes.
Safety car, but give me a brand name. A 60-year-old successful doctor.
Mercedes.
Tata Nexon.
I'm sorry?
Tata
Mercedes.
Nexon.
Now give me a brand name.
Mercedes.
Mercedes. Right? Mercedes comes into mind. Do you know why most of us will come with Mercedes in our mind for a dignified, sophisticated, successful person? Because if you look at their advertisement, somewhere there, they would have put the word prestige, prestigious. Now that I mentioned to you, you would recognize that all Mercedes-Benz would come up with prestige, right? So that is prestige. Now let's imagine, now the same doctor, he's got a young son. That young son is a dashing young guy who wants to really have fun in his life. Nice, sporty guy. What kind of car would he buy?
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. Lamborghini on Indian roads might not be possible. What other car you have seen in India that a young guy would buy? A successful father's son. And if I tell you the name of the brand, you'll recognize it. BMW. It's a young macho machine, right? So it's a sporty kind of a car. So potentially a young person will buy an Audi or a BMW. Okay, he will not necessarily go buy the Mercedes. Mercedes will say it's for my father. It's an old man's car. For me, I want a young, nice car, and he'll go buy an Audi or a BMW. Now imagine that this doctor's father is another very successful person, and imagine this father has got a daughter. She has just finished her medicine and she's a doctor and she has to go to a hospital. Now that particular grandfather wants to buy a nice car for this granddaughter. What car do you think he will buy for her? And I'll give you a clue. He will buy a car that is safe. Someone mentioned safety. Safety for my granddaughter.
Maybe
And he will
Volvo.
go. I'm sorry, Volvo. Correct. Volvo. Now imagine, I showed 3 cars and we are easily fitting 3 market segments, right? Volvo is as safe as Mercedes-Benz, as safe as BMW. But what they did was right from the beginning, they went after this branding called safety, and they won all the safety awards and went ahead and said, anyone that wants to think safety will think Volvo. Anyone that wants to think sporty will think BMW. Anyone that wants to think prestige will think Mercedes-Benz, right? So there are 3 segments, each one of them, all the cars are the same, I will guarantee you. They all have the same luxuries, they all have the same features, but they are all branded in a particular manner. Just like the toothpaste. So from toothpaste to cars, you can see that there are customer segments. And if I want to sell a Mercedes-Benz, I will look for people who are successful above 55 years old. If I want to sell a sporty car, I look for someone who's in his 20s to 30s, and so on and so forth. So I'm clearly segmenting my market, and that is what is called customer segments. Are you all able to understand this? Thank you, Hariram. I didn't see your thing you had said BMW. Thank you. Good. So that is customer segment. All right. Now keep that in mind. All right. We will go back and see this particular box. What icon does this box have?
A gift.
Gift. It looks like a gift. Anybody else has got a different word for gift?
Offers.
Offer. Very good. That's a good one. Offer. What am I offering to my customer? Another word for offer?
Rewards.
Discounts,
Promotional code.
Nouns. Okay. Now
cashbacks,
I'm sorry?
cashbacks.
Rewards.
All the perks. But when I am giving that big size to my family, the head of family woman, the big size, what am I giving her? I'm giving her some value, which is economy. And so we call it value propositions. Okay, so very clearly going back to our toothpaste example, that particular big size is the value proposition for the head of family. I can just put a newspaper ad saying there is a special offer for the economy size this week. We are giving 10% extra paste in that. 100 grams will be 110 grams. The minute he say that, all the mothers who are buying this economy size will go buy 2 or 3 more and keep it there. They'll say, okay, no, let's keep it there for the future. This will cover me for a whole year. Right? It's not just because you're offering it at a cheap rate. Even if you tell that mother, we will give you this the 10 rupee pack at 9 rupees. They'll say, no, I don't want the 9 rupees. Tell me if there's an offer for your jumbo size, I will buy that. So there is a value proposition that I'm offering my customer. Economy was the value proposition. Convenience was the value proposition for my traveler. Hygiene was the value proposition for my hygiene person. And fun was the value proposition for my kids. Only if I have these value proposition perfectly matched with the customer segments can I sell them. Are you able to visualize this? If you do not have a value proposition that can match up with the customer segment, you will not be able to sell it. For example, if you go to some person who has allergies with a pineapple, can you sell him pineapple? No. For him, even though the value proposition is, I want some sweet fruit, the value proposition is actually further defined to say some some sweet fruit that does not cause me allergy. And then you say, oh, sir, then for you, banana is the best fruit for you, sir. Or mango is the best fruit for you, sir. Let me sell this to you, sir. So very clearly, you have very specific value propositions for specific customers. Can you sell ice to Eskimos where he's filled with ice all over the place? Not necessarily. But can you sell ice cream with flavored and all that kind of stuff? Yes. Now that is the innovation. Right? Are you able to appreciate the value propositions and the customer segments? These are two of the crucial boxes in your business model canvas. You have to start off with one or the other or both at the same time. So when you find a problem, you say, here's the problem. Here is the kind of person who is having this problem. And here's the solution he wants. So I'm going to give this solution or the value proposition to this kind of a person. When you match these and say, how much are you willing to pay me? If I give this, then you found your customer. Are you able to see these two correlations? Any questions on those two? Okay, all right. So now let's get to the next box. I have highlighted a third box. What does this third box look like? Any guesses?
Transportation.
Anything else?
Shipping.
What was that, madam?
Shipping from one
Shipping.
place to another place. Yeah.
Good, beautiful. Shipping from one place to another. In fact, we call it the channel.
Channels.
Any business will need to have a channel to take this value proposition through a channel to a customer. Right? If you do not have a channel, how would you deliver? If you do not have a channel to deliver the actual product, even if you say, I have a great value proposition for you, I have a very good toothpaste that is hygienic for you, if you do not place it in a store, so the store is a channel, if I do not place it in a store, I can never reach my customer because my customers are saying, where do I get it? And then you can say, oh, I can even place it on an Amazon store. I don't need a physical store. You are planning your consumption well enough. You have one more week of paste in your tube. You are ordering online. I will send it to you within the next 2 days. So that is a channel. So Amazon is a channel. That entire platform is a channel. Right? So for you to be able to deliver your value proposition, mind you, I'm not talking about product. Product is just the final output. The core is economy, convenience, hygiene, fun. You're giving that. So when the child, for example, receives the paste, yes, mom, thank you, ma'am. You're so good, ma'am, mommy. And then he hugs you and kisses you. And then he says, this is fun, mommy. Right? So that is the value proposition. He didn't get a toothpaste. He got fun. When you bought the paste for the economy, you didn't buy the paste, you bought economy. Because I'm spending money on paste. I have no problems with that. This one, I made a value out of that. A good economy, economical size thing. And so you were buying something of value, and that is what you're buying. The product is incidental. So in my case, where I was talking about COVID, patients at home, people were considering that as this is convenient. I do not have to take my mother to a hospital until Manick's company told that it is essential to go to the hospital. Until then, he's monitoring through a doctor. The doctor was conveniently looking at the patient through telemedicine at home. So I was giving all the value propositions, and the customer was happily taking the value. He's not saying anything else. He's just saying, I'm being monitored. He's saying, I'm getting the attention. All I'm giving is actually healthcare, but I'm giving the value proposition called being monitored and attention. That's what every one of our clients said. None of our clients said, oh, I'm getting healthcare units from Manick's company. They actually said, I'm getting monitored. Simple. So it was the value, right? So all of that has to go through a channel. Now, channel is not only the one delivering, it's also giving information about your service or product. So your newspaper ad for Colgate could say, in your local stores, you will get this for the next 1 week. So unless they advertise it, you don't know where to go buy that extra 10%. Okay? So a channel is both things. A channel to bring the product to your customer and a channel to advise your customers about a particular product or service. For example, if I'm a car company and I want to advertise and get to my customers, in all likelihood, I will not advertise in a small Dinatandi paper, where it is probably being bought by people who will not buy a Mercedes car. So I'll probably advertise in a in-flight magazine where some executive might actually open and see that in flight and say, oh yeah, I like this feature in this particular car, let me go check it out. And there I would give a number saying, please call us in Calcutta at this number and we will give you a free ride and explanation as to our car. So the media is very important, appropriate media to reach your clients. Your clients are using some media. It's up to you to find out what is the media that they're using to inform them about your product. Are you able to see the relevance of these three boxes now? Value proposition through a channel to your customer segment. So even as you are understanding who your customers are, you are creating a value proposition, the solutions, and the value that he gets. And you're also seeing how I'm going to inform my customers and deliver the product using a channel. Okay. Logistics. Okay. Arun said it's logistics. It's good. It's a logistics too. Yes. Now this fourth box, what icon do you see? Anyone? Or did I put all of you to sleep?
Symbol of love.
Symbol of love. Beautiful. Lovely. It's so tough for us to come up with the word love. Huh? But yes, it's a love. And where does that fit in here?
Customer feedback.
Customer feedback, or what we call customer relationships. Beautiful. It's a customer feedback. Not only the feedback, we also tell them, sir, the more you buy from us, we will give you royalty points. For every 100 rupees that you spend, we will give you 1 rupee as a royalty point. And for every 100 rupees that you accumulate, you can convert that to a product that you buy from us. Right? And so all these loyalty things and all the relationships that you do with your customer to give your value proposition through your channel, all of these 4 things together define how you are going to create your ecosystem of your sales. If you do not have a customer relationship module in your business, in your entrepreneurship, you will not be able to continue to sell to them. You will not be able to get word of mouth out. So customer relationship creates channels. Customer relationship says, sir, if you got the product, we will call you and we'll see how it has been installed. We sent you a refrigerator. The refrigerator, is it working right? No, I don't know how to make the ice. It's not making ice. Don't worry, sir. I will show you. Please go to that tray there. There is a button there. You can turn that on. That will make ice cubes. And you turn another button, it will make crushed ice, and so on and so forth. So the customer relationships are very important. So these 4 boxes together create the complete package of you with your customers. Not a single box can be out of place out of these 4. And when you do this, you're ready to go to the market. And by the time you actually are in the market and you're making your customer relationship better and better, you're refining your channels, you're refining your value proposition. You probably started out with the value proposition, but slowly the customer said, you know what, I want this. And then you are refining that. So it's a whole evolving thing. So these 4 boxes together ensure this 5th box down here. What symbol do you see?
Money, dollars.
Dollar. Very good. You see money, right? So only when these 4 boxes are coming together, you will see revenue streams. The revenue comes to you. So these 5 boxes are the go-to market, what we call GTM. Your strategy to go to the market will have all of these 5 boxes in mind. Revenue streams, you will say, what is the sale price of my unit? Per unit, my economy size, I'm going to sell it for 700 rupees. For 700 rupees is too much. I will sell it for 550 rupees, and so on. Your pricing strategy, all of this comes into your revenue stream. And only when you get revenue, you are in business. Right? So now I'll switch to the word business, because business is any company. But you already know the difference between business and entrepreneur. So now as an entrepreneur, you've identified customer segments, you've identified the value propositions, you identified the channels and set in stage to use them, and you're doing customer relationship. And together with all of this, you have a beautiful company running with some activity that is bringing in revenue. Are these 5 boxes very simple? Five out of 9 boxes, right? Very simple. And again, I'm open to any questions at the future time also. Right now, if you have any questions, do ask me. Am I so clear that you all have no doubt at all?
Yes, sir, no doubt, sir. Actually, I'm imagining with my product that I'm thinking how I have to manage all these things.
Excellent. Excellent. Now you need to have that imagination and the curiosity. Good. I'm glad that you're putting your mind already into these 4 or 5 boxes. These 5 boxes are the go-to market. So if you want to go to market next year, you will need to think about all of these, put them on paper. And only when you start to put on paper, you will see the big canvas. So you are the artist. An entrepreneur is an artist. He's not just going and doing hard work. He's not just going ahead and carrying sacks of rice on his back. He's actually saying, what can I do to make it easier? Can I have robots? Can I have some other way of ensuring that my transport is done better? All of these things, he's using his brain, he's thinking big, he's a visionary, and he's an artist. And if you know all these 5 boxes very well, you have done half your canvas. Half your art is already there. There is a wall, there are 9 boxes, we have filled half the boxes so far. And if you got this right, good. The rest of the 4 boxes are actually quite easy, but they are quite involved. And I will give you a understanding of what those boxes are also. Okay, so since no one has got any questions so far, I'm going to look for one of these boxes. What does that box look like?
It looks like a factory.
Looks like a factory. So in our scheme of things, what do you think that is? We are drawing the canvas, we are drawing the art, we are drawing this painting. 5 boxes we finished. And then Manick has put up something like industry. What could that be?
Activities.
Our product with industry collaboration.
Industry collaboration activity. For this particular thing, you're very close to it. Activity, collaborations, you've got something. But this particular one, industry, actually it makes sense to say they are key resources. I need key resources. For example, if I am a software company, who are my key resources? I'm a software company, I'm an app company. Who are my key resources? What are my key resources?
Software developers.
Software developers are my key resources. The computers are my key resources, right? So a key resource is any object or person that actually makes the product. They put the product together, and that's how the value proposition is actually bound with a product, an actual product. In fact, when some time ago, about 5-6 years ago, if you wanted to buy software, or about 10 years ago, you wanted to buy software, Microsoft Office, they'll give you a CD. You bought a CD. And then that product was available to you. You went there, you bought it, and you put it into your computer, and you installed it. Slowly, your laptops, mostly 90% of the laptops that all of you have today, will probably won't have a CD drive at all. CD's drive is gone. So how are you installing your software? You're downloading it from the internet, right? So you're downloading it from the internet. No more CDs, no more USBs. You're just actually downloading it from the internet because everyone's got internet. And so they go ahead and give you, about 5-6 years ago, a box that will have a code. You didn't need to give that code in a box. You could just given it in an email. But they went ahead and gave it in a box. So the key resources were even those parts, those packaging. Now, that has gone into your customer relationship. I don't need to say anything else. All I have to do is give you a click on your email, and you click on it, and I've given you a code in another email, and you just go click the code, and boom, it just comes in. And if there's any problem, customer support helps you. Nowadays, even customer support is all not even needed. Everything is in an FAQ, frequently asked questions. So you can see that a number of things that were key resources itself has moved on, and your key resources are becoming even more specialized. You have UI, UX, right? User interface experts who create the screens. So your key resources are people who create the value propositions as a product. That is key resources. Okay, so now let's go to this box here. This box here has got one icon. What is it?
The checkbox.
It's a checkbox. So in the context of what we do, what could it be?
This is key activities.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It is the key activity. It is the key activity. Now, why do we specifically say a key activity? Because in a company, there are set number of activities that are happening repeatedly all the time to repeatedly create this product. And if some activity is happening that is not contributing towards the creation of the product, or the customer relationship of the product, or the channel of the product, then potentially you are wasting some resources. So you probably went ahead and hired someone as a key resource but he's not doing any key activity. If he's not doing any key activity, then you probably didn't need that key resource, the who you thought was key resource anymore, right? Imagine you hired a chef, and then you have a restaurant where the dosa is being automatically. It's just a machine. You just turn it on. The batter comes in, and then it puts it on a big tawa, and then it fries it, and then it just rolls it, and then it cuts it. If all of this is mechanized, now that is a key activity. Now the key resource of a chef who was flipping the dosas back and forth, now he's not needed anymore. But you probably need some highly sophisticated chef to know if the size is right, if the taste is right. So you need tasters. So you need a different kind of resources than the chef. The chef can go to another restaurant where they have not mechanized it, right? So key resources and key activities need to be defined all the time in your business so that you are not underutilizing a key resource. You're not unnecessarily doing a key activity, but you're doing the right activities with the right key resources. Once you have these two, you are guaranteed a good product that can be shown to a client. So now I'm going to take you to another box. What is this box here? People have been saying that it's a blockchain and a link and all that. In the context of what we are doing, what could it be? Someone did make a mention of this earlier. On purpose, I ignored that. One of you made a remark about this icon. What could it be? Any idea?
Partners, key partners.
Lovely again. Lovely again. Key partners. Wonderful. So key partnerships. And earlier I told you, if you're running a restaurant, you need the vegetable supply guy. He's your partner. So every business, you cannot do things on your own. There is nothing from scratch that you do. You typically would go ahead and have partners who are providing certain key resources themselves, who are probably doing some key activities on their side and providing you a finished product. For example, in a car manufacturing factory, you might actually have nuts that you're buying from an ancillary unit, right? So you are not actually having the lathe machinery to make all these nuts. They're being made by somebody else, by a key partner. And the key partner provides it to you at the right time, at the right place, the right amount. And you're saying, okay, thank you, I'll take that. And I have my key resources for putting this together. They bought it shut, and that is one of the activity. And I have a good product, right? So with these three key resources, key activities, and key partnerships, this is the back end of your business. The first 5 boxes that I told you, customer segments, value propositions, customer relationships, and the channel, contribute towards bringing you the money, actual moolah. Someone is paying you the money to get you that, right? So now that is the go-to-market part of it. This is behind the scenes that's happening. And typically all these 3 will contribute to this 9th box, and it's the cost structure. So although all of them will cost, but these 3 are the things, core things that will cost you. So when you come up with a business plan, your business plan will actually talk about your key activities, your key resources, and your key partners, and how much each of those will cost you. And that's how an investor will see, or you yourself will see, I will be able to sell this product for 150 rupees and it costs me 100 rupees. So what is the difference between revenue streams and cost structure? What do you call that? The difference between revenue and cost?
Profit.
Profit. Beautiful. There you go. So you have all 9 boxes that will give you the profit if you do it right. So these are the only 9 boxes that you have to be worried about when you start off as an entrepreneur, when you want to start off your idea, when you want to put it on paper and crystallize everything that's in your mind. Mind you, all of you probably have every aspect of this in small pieces and bits and pieces in your mind already. So this business model canvas only provides an opportunity for you to put everything together to see, is this the big picture I'm looking? So it is a tool. It is not an end in itself, it's a tool. It will keep changing. I have used this since about 2010. That's when this tool was made public to people in the United States. And large companies were using this tool internally. Or when it came out, it became a huge sensation, because now with this, an investor can actually even see what you're looking at. So when you created this, and from here you created good visuals to say, by the way, here are my customer segments. Here is the aging population. Here is the younger population. And immediately the investor sees, he's going after the younger population. They constitute about 40% of India. Oh, nice, good. So he says, okay, I'm happy that he's going after a market that has got a large potential. Oh, he's looking at people who are going to be affected by COVID, or even if they are not going to be affected by COVID, potential of being affected by COVID. Oh, he's got a good market. So the relevance of the market, the need of the market, all of this is coming to you in a picture when you fill all of these, each and every one of these boxes. A simple filling up of these boxes will actually take you days. But if you can put it together and run it by your friends, your family, even in their minds, just to ask them questions, when you put it itself, you will understand what questions you should be asking. And that is why we're calling this a canvas. And this canvas allows you to put them all together, all of the colors to come together, and eventually give you what we call the profit. Are you able to visualize all the 9 boxes at this point? Any questions? This is an involved talk. I'm sure it was quite intense, but that is the nature of the game. And I hope I made it light enough for you to understand it easily. This is the easiest way to understand this model, this tool. Anyone has any feedback on what you want me to elaborate on more on these 9 boxes? No feedback, no questions. You're all too easy, guys. Be tough on me.
Could you repeat the key resources and cost structure?
Okay, sure. Thank you. A key resource is the kind of resource you need within a company. It could be an animate object, or it could be a person. For example, if I'm running a software company, I need servers and I need computers, I need laptops, I need phones. All of these are key resources that are needed for me to build that app. And I could potentially get Amazon Cloud instead of buying a server. I could potentially not have any desktops. I could say, bring your own laptops. But they are key resources. Without that, I cannot create this product. So that is one type of key resource. Another type of key resource is the actual programmer who's actually going and creating the programs. Right? So let's take back to that Colgate toothpaste. In the Colgate toothpaste, I need all the ingredients. all the ingredients, including the neem for the hygienic person and everything, all of that to be sourced probably from my key partners to come to me in a factory where I'm putting all of this together, mixing everything, and then creating this whole thing, slushy thing called paste. And then I have another process, a key activity, where I'm filling it in with into a tube. So now the tube is a key resource, the machinist is a key resource, the supervisor is a key resource. So all of these are key resources that are contributing towards making the product. Did that explain key resource to you, sir? Did that explain to you, sir? Key resource. Someone just asked me about key resource. I'm sorry, I didn't notice who asked. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, someone asked me about key resource. Did I answer that question? Do you know who asked that question? I'm sorry. I skipped that name. Couldn't catch it far enough. Okay. I'm going to assume that because he has not answered, he is probably understood. But he also wanted to know what the cost structure. The cost structure is, for example, if I'm running a company which has partners, I would probably have cost towards that. Number one, the actual raw material itself, I would have to have him, the partner, give me a cost. For 500 rupees for 1 kilogram, sir, the cost of your and so that could be one of the costs. And another could be I'm hiring these key resources. I'm paying 1.5 lakhs per month for this key resource. That is another cost structure. Then I'm having a big factory. So I probably have 5 crores into making that factory. Or I'm running a software company. I'm renting space. It's 1 lakh per month. Or I'm paying 20,000 per month as rental. So now that is the cost. Cost structure is all of the costs associated with ensuring that my product is delivered to. And when I say my end user, I mean it to the final product. So it could also mean the cost of shipping, the cost of the channel, the cost of maintaining customer relationships, right? I might have a website and I might have some people always listening in on it, or looking for questions to be answered, or a live chat, or a phone, voice recognition system. All of that contributes towards the cost structure. So to answer the cost structure and key resources, that is the answer. Any more questions about those two? Okay. All right. So go ahead. Any? Okay. So I would have liked to take a case study today. And if you guys have the time, I will just do it very quickly. Car manufacturing. I was talking about car manufacturing and the Tata Nano. So the Tata Nano, who is the customer segment for Tata Nano? Those are the Tata Nanos, right? Anyone can tell me who is the customer segment for that?
Those who are having bikes and all. They want
Lower
to
middle
car.
class.
Those who are having bikes and wanting to go up to a car level, right? That is one. Ramya, you had mentioned something else.
That middle class employee, like
Middle class employee. These are not the people who will buy Mercedes, but they want a four-wheeler. They want to take their families to the beach. They want to take the families to the to the temple. They want the families to be taken in a car for a wedding, right? So that's a middle class, which is aspiring to buy a four-wheeler. And what was the price that was paid? Anyone remember the price?
1 lakh.
What?
Yes, 1 lakh. So was that the value proposition?
No, it went above up to 1.25 or 1.5 like that.
It even went up to 1.25, 1.5. But the value proposition they came out initially was, this is an economy car that you can buy at 1 lakh and you can use it. And when they failed at not being able to deliver it at 1 lakh, you see that the correlationship between the value proposition and the customer. The customer was a middle income group who said, yes, 1 lakh is a good value proposition. Let me go buy it. And then when he went and bought it, it went up to 1,50,000 rupees, 1.5, which means it's a 50% jump on his original budget. And he said, no, I will not buy this. Correct? Did that happen?
Yes.
Yes. So the customer segment was very clearly the middle aspiring customer. One of the value proposition was economy. Another value proposition was convenience, safety. And what happened? They had some safety issues. It started catching fire. And immediately people said, uh-oh, I don't like this car. I'll rather be alive than buy a 1 lakh car because it seems to be unsafe car. So all the value proposition they had put up, they failed. And most important, they called it the cheap car. Who wants to go buy something cheap? No one wants to buy something cheap, something as flashy as a car. You don't want to say, I got it for something cheap. So you want to actually say, I got this for quite a lot of money and I'm treasuring this. So please don't ruin my car, kind of a thing. So when they called it the poor man's car and they tried to give it to middle income people, the middle income people said, I'm not a poor man. I'll probably pay 1 more lakh and I'll buy a second-hand car. I'll buy an Alto, but I will not buy this. Who are you to tell me I'm a poor man? Right? So the messaging was all wrong. So this company stopped manufacturing. The company has gone, that's it, it's closed. And all because their value propositions did not meet their customer segment needs. Are you able to see now? I want you to start looking at critically at everything that you see. Anything that you go on the road and you see a successful business, I want you to see who are their customer segments. I want you to explore what could be the value proposition. Go into that store. If you see something successful, just go there and see what is happening. And when you do that, you will be able to figure out what is it that they're doing. And when you have those ideas in, you will get your own ideas, even if it's not in the field of where you are looking at the success. All you need is a success story to mimic. All right. So that is the basic of Nano case study. I didn't want to take too long. I just wanted to deliver that message. And of course, customer segmentation basically is all about who's the target audience. Type of segmentation can be done: geographic, demographic, behavioral, psychological. And then, of course, for this one, we define who the customer segments are. Value propositions are what are you creating, offering your customers, and what differentiates you from others in the marketplace who are running a similar business. But most important, you have to deliver value first. So the value propositions for the Tata, we spoke very briefly. Channels, how will they reach them? You go through all kinds of newspaper ads and television ads and so on, in-person, telephone, on-site, in-store, physical delivery, internet, traditional media, all of those are the channels. And what channels will they use for this one? They did use local newspapers. They did use local, small showrooms. And this customer relationship is all a huge magic. You get your customers, you keep them, you grow them. And there are very simple nuances to getting, make them aware of it, of your product, get them interested in your product, and then you have them consider your product and finally purchase. And this goes into a loop. They might come and purchase the same things again and again and again. You went and bought a very nice ice cream. Oh, that ice cream shop is there. Oh, I'm interested in ice cream. I want to consider buying that. And then you buy it. And then a few days later, you say, oh my God, that ice cream is so good. Let me go back. So it's a viral loop. And of course, you can use earned and paid media to advertise to get your customers. And then to actually keep your customers, there are a number of ways. You have those loyalty programs. You have product updates that you give the customers. You have customer check-in calls and call and say, is the fridge working? And so many other customer feedback mechanisms. So that's how you keep your customers. And of course, to grow them, you would go the other way. It's a viral loop again, all the way back to get your customers. But to grow them, you could go ahead and unbundle your product. Meaning, if you're selling a whole product together, you can say, no, I can give you small pieces of this for a lesser cost. So for example, if you buy cars, you give an unbundled basic car, and then you say mat is separate, this trim is separate, color is separate. So you can unbundle it and give the basic model, and that's when you build it up to 1.5 lakhs. That 0.5 lakhs was all probably these enhancements, which the middle income buyer was not willing to pay. He said, no, all of that should be part of what you say. Why are you telling me I should buy a car mat? A mat should be there. It should be in the car. Don't charge me extra 60 rupees for that, right? And so on. So you could unbundle them. And of course, you can upsell and say, sir, this model is the very basic model, sir. Why didn't you buy a premium model, sir? And this is a sport model, sir. So you can upsell. And you can even cross-sell. You can say, sir, if you buy this, by the way, we are also selling insurance for this one. You can go ahead and buy insurance from us. When you buy insurance from us, you get it at a discount. And you have a key partnership with the insurance company and say, if I sell your product, you give me some commission, right? So you make money that way. So you can cross-sell it. And then, of course, finally, referrals. You refer, you ensure that you get referrals, word of mouth and all that. So this also is a viral loop. So there are very specific scientific way of get, keep, and grow. Okay, so this is what that aspect of it, but that comes much later after you get into the business. You don't have to worry about that. Revenue stream, of course, you knew all of that. You worried about all of the revenue stream. How does money come into company, and how do they value your product? Other aspects of BMC, we very briefly mentioned key activities, resources, and key partnerships, and the cost structure. And so these are the 9 boxes. You go through all of them, right? Value propositions, revenue streams, key resources, key activities, key partnerships, and cost structure. This particular saying by a contemporary scientist gripped me as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, I'm not there just to make money. I'm there to add value to every human being that I can reach out to. And so I will be ashamed to die until I have scored some victory for humanity. I want to do something for humanity. Every entrepreneur actually has that at his heart. It might look like, yeah, I actually want to be free from financial problems, but all of those are perks. And once you get into a product, once you start to manufacturing, once you start to take care of clients, you discover what a difference you've made to that client. Even if you just paste, a sensitive toothpaste, you made a difference to that particular person's pain. So as an entrepreneur, you would go ahead and solve a problem for humanity. And personally, I chose to be ashamed to die until I have done something like that. This one was a quote by Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of my role models. He's a great guy. I met him. He's very much an astrophysicist and a good human. So the bottom line is, be a good human, be a great, successful entrepreneur. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for asking the questions. Thank you for being part of everything that we did today. And I'm here for a few more minutes if you have any questions. No questions at all? Am I still here? Someone has to talk, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. So I will put up my WhatsApp number on the chat box. And if you ever need to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at this WhatsApp number and mention that you were part of my session. And I'm happy to help you and continue the conversations with you offline. And if you still are not able to get hold of me through this, please reach Shakti and he will find me for you guys.
Okay.
Yes, put up a feedback form. Please go ahead and use that link to give a feedback as well.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. And Shakti, over to you. Thank you, Grishma.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful session for the last 2.5 hours. Thank you for your effort, sir. I hope this will help the business scholar and students to make them idea prototype with the business with the best BMC. And dear participant, I request you all to submit a sample PMC on your own idea to the below mentioned mail ID. So there will be a help us to evaluate your idea for the funding session. Okay. So I will post here the mail ID here. Thank you, Grishma. So feedback link fill பண்ணிருங்க மறக்காம.
Thank you, Shakti, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
With you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, all.
Bye-bye, sir. Thank you.
மெயில் ஐடி நோட் பண்ணீங்க. உங்களுடைய ஒரு பிஎம்சி உங்களுடைய ஓன் ஐடியா ஸ்டார்ட் அப் ஐடியா இருந்ததுன்னா நீங்க வந்து அந்த ஐடியாவை வந்து அந்த பிஎம்சி அப்ளை பண்ணி எங்க மெயில் ஐடிக்கு வந்து அனுப்பிச்சு விடுங்க. ஓகேவா? ஸோ இது வந்து கிராண்ட் செஷனுக்கு இது ரொம்ப முக்கியமாக இருக்கும். ஸோ நாங்கள் வந்து உங்களை ஃபர்ஸ்டே வந்து அனலைஸ் பண்ணிடுவோம் உங்கள் ஐடியாவை. ஸோ அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி நம்ம அந்த செஷன் கொண்டு போகலாம். அதுக்கு தான். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருந்ததுன்னா ப்ளீஸ் கால் மீ. I'll post my number in chat section. Myself Saktivel. ஒரு டவுட் இருந்தா என்ன பண்றது?
Sir, please provide a feedback link.
It's already posted in chat. Wait, I will repost it. Okay. Okay.